I am just about to join Nancy Guzik for a Zoom where we're going to be talking about Richard Schmid's newest book on portraits and figures. So I was putting some flowers here behind me so that when I'm on my computer, you can see the back of my studio. You know, this is for posterity. So this hopefully will be around forever and ever and ever and ever. I'm going to share it a little bit, so you'll see parts of it. I'm not going to share all of it at once, and then Nancy's going to take parts of it, and she'll share it on her YouTube and all her socials and stuff. So Scott is at the Portrait Society right now, and I stayed home to work and get ready for my still life class and do lots and lots of sketches. So getting ready for my Zoom. All right, getting ready. So this is what it's going to look like. I'm just double checking that everything is good and clearing up making sure everything I've been recording recently is, I put all the videos that we do, even my YouTube stuff, on Vimeo, and all of our actual videos that we do for actual instruction that are specific videos, not just artist blogs or something, those also go on Dropbox. So Dropbox, Vimeo, and at least one hard drive, external hard drive, sometimes two. Scott's always backing those up too. Yeah, it's like you have to back these things up multiple times, and it's amazing how much your computer gets filled. So these are things I'm constantly doing, trying to getting rid of all the original footage that before editing, and then making sure that's not on my hard drive. So that's what I'm doing right now, because I'm going to record this Zoom that I do with Nancy, because I don't know how long it's going to be. And so I need to make sure I have space on my computer to keep it. I can't wait. Can't wait to see all the images in Richard's book. And I'll ask Nancy lots of stories and make sure she talks a lot about them.
What do you think of that? Pretty amazing.
Yeah. Oh my God. So I had mentioned to Nancy that, you know, Richard had painted my niece, Erin. So this is 1990. And I think this was very soon after. I mean, this is probably when I first started the Palette and Chisel, was in the beginning of 1990. And that's why I hadn't seen a lot of those other portraits. And Scott and I hadn't been going out that long. And I had this niece, my sister's daughter, Erin, and she was probably, I'm gonna say, it's hard to remember, maybe 10. And and she obviously was a child, right? So she wasn't great, wasn't like the perfect, person to pose, meaning after a while, she got very fidgety. I remember my story is, I remember, because I was not a good artist, I was so beginner, and I was so nervous and stressed, and I felt a lot of pressure, which is strange. I felt a lot of pressure on myself, because I wanted Erin to sit still, and I wanted her to like be good for all these master painters. And I remember like me even getting like a little bit uptight, I remember you calming me down and you talking to me and saying, it's okay, Richard, don't worry about it. Because I was starting to get like a little bit like, Erin, hold still. I only tell these stories because I want people to realize that, there's light, it's real, like a little girl sitting there. It wasn't easy. And so, but Richard, I cannot believe he did this from a moving child.
And
And
she's there in front of all of us,
yeah,
and yeah, and just him abbreviating the hands and just the beautiful abstract. And and you talk about him putting the design together, how the background goes into her hair. If you squint, the beautiful, powerful, uh, bringing the values together and all the white together. Yeah, and
just
then
how clean the lights are. Remember us talking about the fact that this is North Light. And I remember dressing her up in a white nightgown, and she had this sort of soft bunny as like a stuffed animal doll kind of, thing to hold on to. And we wanted it to look like she was getting ready for bed. And oh my gosh. So yeah, the light would be very, very soft. It would not be easy to know what's going on, right? And so you have to be very simple with your values and your transitions and not make your halftones too dark and all that stuff. And the thing about and what you do so well and what this painting exemplifies is the idea when you're doing something that is very what you might call high key or soft light, and everything is very, what I say, clean, meaning very on the light side, not a lot of over modeling. The how you show form is to show darks around it so that you can keep that soft, over light, north light. If you didn't have those beautiful darks around her, then you couldn't keep her face that light, right? And so it's just studying how he did that, the positive and negative shapes right next to each other.
Yeah, and he, the features, he just made sure they were right the first time he put it on. I think because she's a
Right,
child.
you can't
But
change it,
when
right?
you're doing a child, you're just like you've got to be fast, but you want to be slow. You want to be able to see
Right.
it and then put it down correctly. And you could see all those are just so perfectly put down, you know.
The
Uh,
violet in her jawline and
oh
that
yeah.
beautiful warm under her chin.
Yes.
It's,
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's so simple. And he was a fast painter. So to be honest, he probably did finish this in an hour and a half. He probably did. These three sessions. He was probably done after three pose sessions. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the size, do you remember the size?
I think it's a 20 by 16.
Yeah, that's what it says on here. Yep. And done at the Pound and Chisel in front of all of us. So it's just really nice to hear these wonderful stories of,
Well, and just to anybody that wants to come to Chicago and see your big show in October 2026, this painting will be there.
yeah. Oh, and and there might be something at the Pound and Chisel this month. If you're in Chicago, call them and see if there might be some Schmids there.
You
I'm
said
sorry,
that there might be
maybe
something
June, maybe
like,
June
is
1st.
it going to start June 1st or is it going to
I
be
think
in?
it's gonna start June 1st. Just a tiny show, but really beautiful, alongside another show at the Pal and Chisel. And then in October, we'll be doing another Zoom celebrating Richard Schmid on October 4th, I believe. And then a big month-long educational one at the Pal and Chisel in 2026. And you can find all that out on richardschmidfoundation.org, our new website. He has a foundation that he created before he left us. And also you can always go to his Richard store at richardschmid.com. But I'm just so glad you told everybody how this was done from life. And it's just so delightful. He always painted with joy too.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw him, paint angry like a lot of us.
No,
Or,
no.
like
Or
frustrated and angry. Yeah.
or what's the or just not into it,
Yeah.
bored. He's never bored because and he took his skill and the ear, look at the ear too, and the hair. The hair is just so interesting. Anyway, Richard's new book, Portrait and Figure Paintings. This is one of the mini paintings. I believe it's over, I think it's over 400. Actually, I have it right here. Let's see. Let me grab how many paintings in here. This one doesn't say it. I believe it's over 400. And as I said, it's kind of like you turn the pages and there's so many.
Oh, can I say the story quickly? Meaning
What
that
story?
a man, so this painting was up for sale at the Pellet and Chisel. Um, and I remember my dad wanted to buy it, but the price I think went above what he was willing to spend, and a man bought it. And oh gosh, how many years ago now? I'm gonna say it's hard to remember time, I'm gonna say 6, 7 years ago. So this is 2025 right now. 6, 7 years ago, a man contacted me and said that he would like to give it to Erin. I think I told you this. And I said, well, why don't you just send it to my mom, who still lives, where I grew up in Oak Park. And so my mother has this. And, one day we'll give this to Erin's daughter, Willow. And, but he gave it to us.
Wow.
I
Is
think I think
that's
it was one of those deals where a man was probably, you get to the time where you're getting, what's the point of making money off of something? He probably enjoyed it for a long time and then out of the generosity of his heart decided, I think I'm going to give this to this family. And so I cherish it. It's like I know it's safe at my mom's place. Of course, I wish I had it here, but that's why it's going to be great because anytime you have something at the Pelt and Chisel, it's easy to have it be a part of the show because it's just 25 minutes away. Anyways, I just wanted to say that. And, he shipped it to us with that gorgeous frame that Richard put on it. And one of those, what is it? Is it an almond Ricks or what are those gorgeous?
nice,
And
nice.
so I can't believe it. I
Wow.
wish I could remember his name. It might be on the back of that painting. I don't know, but I just wanted to say that it was like
I
a
mean,
gift
that is,
from the angels.
yeah, yeah. And I hope to have this in the show next year,
I will.
Chisel 2026 in October. So over a year from now, but you can see this in person. So we'll ask your mom.
Yay! Thank you,
All right,
Nancy.
everybody. And everybody know that their art is so important. Keep inspiring the world. As Richard would say, art has the power to do good and transform. And it's great to be in the community together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yay,
Thank you, Sue.
thank you.
I'm so glad we did that.
Fascinating, yeah. I assume if you're listening,
much more than in the studio. So yeah, it's been really
contractors, they were sort of helping me come in so they could help them write it. And I was just struck with the mom. Don't go this way. There's Anna Rose.
and the monsters say together.
The monsters say it's Julian Sharp is absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
Nice, beautiful.
I have stuff. This is the last time I can
It's a beautiful thing. Really appreciate it. And as you read the inscription, I was just thinking, you know, some days when you have those days that your work isn't going well, to think about an inscription like that sometimes can just give you enough of a boost to keep you going. There's a feeling of affirmation about it. It's at 85, sometimes you need affirmations to keep you going. But I want to tell you something that's kind of neat. Yesterday, my lovely wife Pam, she and I celebrated our 44th wedding anniversary. And I just thought that was so neat that happened at the same time, basically, as this award. So it's like a double wonderful happening. But I want to just talk briefly about my experience with the Tarahumara in Mexico, where I started out with a 2-month trip back in 1973, and I found the culture so fascinating, both in their religious ceremonies, their everyday life, just everything about it was magical. And when it ended up a 16-month stay, roughly with 4 months out of each year for 4 years. And it was actually a life-changing experience. And I found the deeper I got into it, the deeper you kept going. So, like most artists understand, you know, time is the enemy of art. And I just decided that culture was so interesting that I wanted to make sure I didn't just do a quick thing and leave it at that. I just want to say that I really appreciate this. By the way, there's only one person I know out of all those recipients, and that's Scott Burdick. So, congratulations, Scott. Congratulations to all of you. I mean, it was just phenomenal work. I'm so excited about it. Express my gratitude, and I hope the society just keeps going, because that's what this world needs, is work that's really well thought out. Oh.
All right, go ahead.
I just want to clean my palette and I can fix what I just did.
It's the contrast is too high because it's a light.
What are you squirting on that?
Rubbing up, which, takes a while to dry.
Like creative energy going on or something, then you're gonna peter out.
Maybe. Yeah, probably want to get back to the edit a bit. Right? When I get back to actually editing.
Right, yeah, yeah.
So
That-
you have all the footage you need now?
Pretty much now, yeah. It's all. I was waiting for the Vietnam stuff for quite a while.
And now you're editing probably you'll be editing for quite a while now.
Yeah.
Any ideas on
Well, I want it to be done this year so that we can start getting it into some film festivals this year, because they're like a year out now. You've got to get them in this year for next
Yeah.
year.
Oh my gosh.
It used to be like a couple of months, but
Yeah. Oh, everything is. You
well,
have to think so
it's
far
just
ahead.
especially the documentary scenes. It's like a gold. Well, sometimes he does a lot of stuff on location. When he travels, that's what he does. Yeah.
it? Could easily be because of her.
Oliver Sin is behind you. And it's funny because I just started videoing you a little bit, and then Oliver showed up back there.
Did you catch him?
Yeah, and I'm still videoing, so I'll... We're laughing at me because I just recorded something without hitting the record button, and she was laughing at this old guy because he forgot to hit the record button, which I find very insulting. You know, your older people are not as used to this technology. This is some sort of phone thing that somehow captures people's souls.
Yes.
So-
What's in the box?
So I was asking, what is in this box, Joe, when I was not recording? So tell me now that I am recording.
Sue is in the box.
Sue is in this box.
Sue is in this box.
I mean, she is very
Yeah.
skinny and very healthy, but I don't think I've ever seen her fit in a box like
No.
this.
Well, she did. She's also a contortionist.
All right, tell me the truth now. I know I'm old and gullible, clearly, but what is that you mean by this?
She knows we've got it. We've sent her the picture. It's the painting from Alex.
Oh,
of
this
Sue.
is the painting from Alex Venecia of Sue that he did, and I did the one of Divya. Oh my God! So
Yeah.
how did you steal it from Alex?
Well, he doesn't know.
He doesn't know
about
we've got it, so don't tell him.
He
No.
doesn't know. So you bought it from Alex?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's
Technically, we
exciting.
still haven't paid for it. So, and now we're leaving the country. Bye, Alex. It was really nice of you to gift us that painting. We promise we won't show anyone.
Okay, well, thank you guys. And thank you for reminding me how old I am.
You're welcome.
I really do need those
You
reminders a
wouldn't think
lot.
he's made several documentaries.
They weren't with these little square things. Okay, bye guys.
Scott made it home. He had to do his demo in the morning, and then he had to pack up, and then he had to have lunch, and then he drove. And it's almost 9 o'clock at night. I thought I would record the fact that you made it home.
I did. I made it.
You-
Tons of deer from the Virginia border.
Oh, so you had to go really slow.
Yeah, I had to kind of go slow.
Because I was watching you on Find My, and I was noticing, oh, he's this far away. Oh, he's this far away. And then I'm like, wow, it's taken longer than the Find My said, because I'm like,
of deer.
oh, yeah, you have to
Yeah.
go real slow.
Yeah, there was a lot right next to the road, and one dead. And so I was
Well,
like,
yeah, you made
but
it.
I made it. Yeah.
Kitties are eating their breakfast, and I didn't realize Scott actually bought a book. He also said he got a mug. So we looked through the book, and I guess, this is the hardcover. The soft cover is going to come out later. I don't want to show the whole book because I think you guys need to buy it. I do think that I'm going to have Scott look through some of the pages, especially the ones, the palette and chisel. But the neat thing is that Scott said, when he was young and he first met Richard, he would house sit for Richard, and he helped Richard organize all of those older slides and negatives and 4x5s, and he used 2 1/4 or something, Hasselblad camera instead of a 4x5. And I was hoping that Nancy would have more stories, but I feel like Scott says he has such good memories of so many of these paintings at the palette and chisel, right? I remember seeing Scott's paintings of these, and so he can talk about him, and he can talk about the photo shoots that they had with models. That's a model that even I did in school. I was after Scott, but Steve French was there even after. So this is starting in Colorado. But I thought, Scott, because Nancy said that she hadn't seen so many of them. Oh, that was a painting of me, Scott, Rose. And I'm like, Scott, why don't we'll look through these, especially the ones from the palette, and you can give a few stories. Oh, Albert Hendel. But he said, no, he remembered being young. He was probably 19, maybe 20. And he was looking, he hired Scott to organize all those images. So he said he remembered just flipping out. And that one night, he actually stayed up all night long because he was like, holy cow. He just said he loved the images so much. And to be honest, he was surprised that Richard had never, he said this was a photo shoot at the Palette and Chisel. So this was 86. And so he remembered, I think that Scott was in school, but I don't think he was a part of that photo shoot, but he was a part of the photo shoots with Nanette and some other, models. But he remembered looking through the book and just like having a revelation and just going, oh my God. Anyways, that's such a great photo. So I'm flipping through, giving you guys a little bit of a tease, and I'm definitely gonna have Scott give stories
you know, does he have memories? Oh, Scott was friends with Chips. Chips and Scott would play chess, and you know, Scott and Richard would play chess, and yeah, holy cow. So it's so exciting to be able to actually have the book in my hand. I was really thinking Scott wouldn't have gotten, because they kind of sold out of the book, and then Molly had to go get more. So when he told me last night, oh yeah, no, I bought the book, I was like, oh my God, you never told me. So yay, very happy. I thought I would come in and just show Scott's painting and how it kind of should be lit. And the fact that it's really sort of an overcast, kind of subtle neutral. And because all the photos I got from the Portrait Society were such strong spotlights that it completely only highlighted her hair and the texture of her hair. And Scott is gonna make a video totally showing you in progress shots, talking about the ideas, how he planned this, you know, how it changed over months. I mean, this painting took months to do. And I just thought I'd give you the true colors of this painting. So I came in because I wanted to show the true colors of Scott's painting for, you know, that was the finalist. And he sold this demo from the Portrait Society, but he told everybody, you know, especially because it was so wet, he was gonna just take it home and ship it to the lady. So he's just delicately, he's not changing the painting. He's using a very dry, soft lane nickel brush. You know, you could use a sable, but just a very soft, very dry. What he's doing is he's slightly knocking down just shapes, maybe in the shadow, areas that will catch glare a lot if somebody's hanging it and there's a light from above. He says that he does this a lot, meaning, you know, he lets the paint set up just a tad.
Just for like a day.
Yeah, you mean just a little bit, and because you don't want to change the strokes, you just want, if a stroke has a lot of horizontal lines or is at an interesting angle, because he paints so thick, he just goes in here and just delicately, slightly, you know, and I keep telling him
down the ridges.
Yeah, I'm like, don't do too much.
I still want to see the stroke.
Right.
But I just
you do look a little bit like Indiana Jones with your hat and sweater in your own studio.
Oh yeah, there you go. I forgot to bring it out. Well, yeah, I usually wear this in the studio.
Do you?
And well, I usually wear this outside because it blocks like sunlight from the side, and I just don't want in the studio.
You're a little groggy. You're still probably sleepy. I'm surprised you woke up so early.
I'm exhausted. Yeah.
Well, you get to just rest today, so. But don't do too much. It was just funny because funny for me to say stop softening, because that's the trait of this painting. It's so fun to have those. I like having crisp edges. I think it really shows form, and so just limit yourself.
I don't mind the glare and thick strokes around like these areas.
Yeah, just a little bit in the face.
In the eyes or these dark strokes
I know, but it's easy to go too far, and I feel like there's always that balance because the excitement is those strokes. So
yeah,
cool.
Hi, Theo. Theo is such a snuggler. Look at these feet. This is my life every day. Hi, sweetie baby. He loves to come and snuggle in my little lap right here. Yes. Yes. It's Sunday morning and Daddy's driving home. Maybe we'll get to see Daddy tonight. Maybe. Kissy? And we love you. Yes. Anyways, This is a lot of what my life looks like. Sitting on the couch, playing with my kitty's feet. Because Theo loves to snuggle. You're a snuggle bunny. Fig will come lie on my lap when he wants to, but he's not really a snuggler, not like you. You were meant for snuggling. Yes, you were. I love you so much. Do you need to change? Did I play with your toes too much?